This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Listen up, Midwest. We're doing some live shows.
Yes, we are.
Oh, we're so excited. We're kicking off the fall tour with something a little different. On Wednesday, November 5th at Ice House in Minneapolis, we are hosting The Craft Night, an interactive watch-along. We'll be screening the acclaimed 1996 film The Craft while enjoying craft cocktails and beaded crafts. I'm finally going to teach you how to make beaded lizards. Hosted by us, the gals. I'm so excited about this. It's going to be so fun. It's a little departure from our usual live shows, but it's going to be an absolute blast. And this is a small show, so you're not going to want to sleep on this. We have limited seating in general, but we have limited VIP tickets that also get you upfront seating, a signed poster, and access to our little post-show Q&A moment.
Love the Q&As. And then the next day, on Thursday, November 6th, we're heading down 35 to Kansas City, Missouri. To join our partners in crime, the guys from the Generation Y podcast, Justin and Aaron, for a live show at Screenland Armor. And those guys don't usually get to do comedy.
No. They're
so excited to laugh along with us. And all of you, I promise you they're actually funny.
They're so fun. You're going to love them so much.
You'll see them in a new light.
You really will.
Limited VIP tickets are available and include upfront seating, a signed poster, and access to our post-show mixer at the bar with Justin and Aaron from Gen Y.
Yeah, that location is super cool. It has this really fun little attached bar. I think they've got like pinball machines and all this cool stuff. I'm super excited for that show. You'll definitely want to get VIP so that you can hang with us afterward. But wait, there's more, because on Friday, November 8th, we're headed to Des Moines, Iowa, and we're going to be at the Chandelier in Highland Park for, you guessed it, another live show. VIP for this show includes upfront seating, a signed poster, and exclusive access to a post-show after-party just around the corner at The Fitz, Lucy and Corey's very own bar, named in her honor.
Hell yeah, it's going to be so fun.
I'm so excited.
We're going to stay up late and play loud music.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one more thing.
It doesn't end here, folks.
Nope. On Sunday, November 9th, we're hosting the Meat Raffle, a boozy brunch hosted by us gals at the Alpine Tap, another Fitzwendell establishment, where we're going to be slinging drinks. We're going to be behind the bar. Pray for us.
I know.
We're also going to be selling raffle tickets for some super fun prizes, including some items from my own curiosity cabinet.
Yes.
I'm not that excited to part with them, but they're
you're
gonna be good.
I'll see if I can scrounge up some meat for this meat raffle.
Oh, we're gonna have meat.
Yes.
We'll get to the meat. We're also going to be hosting a pop-up market for local makers, so you just get a little taste of Des Moines while you're here.
I'm so excited. It's so cute.
Your ticket for this brunch includes a cocktail and a breakfast burrito from Lachelle's Fine Foods next door.
Ever heard of it? In-person tickets for all of these events are on sale now, and I'm telling you right now, they're going to be going fast. These are smaller venues. We wanted to have an intimate experience with all of you, so seating is limited. Don't miss your chance to come see us. Grab your tickets at wineandcrimepodcast.com.
And if you can't make it in person, maybe you don't live in the Midwest, I feel sorry for you, but we will be live streaming our shows from Kansas City and Des Moines. So grab your live stream tickets at wineandcrimepodcast.com. And if you're a member of Uncorked, you get $5 off your ticket.
Yeah, we're going to send you a little discount code that's just for you. So if you want to get a little discount, join Uncorked today.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see you in either Minneapolis, Des Moines, or Kansas City.
Let's do it!
Yes.
Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where two friends chug wine, enjoy herb, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Yes, we do.
My name's Mandy. Just kidding, it's Amanda.
Don't call her Mandy, she'll go nuts.
Unless I'm drunk, and then I am Mandy.
Oh yeah, then you become Mandy.
Correct.
And I'm Lucy.
Same, sober or drunk.
I almost just said I only have one name. That's not true.
That is, you have the most names of anyone I've ever known.
I feel like Spanish with how many names I have.
That tracks.
4 legal names and a nickname.
Correct.
Whew.
Correct. And this week, we've got a very special, albeit incredibly tragic, triggering, blanket trigger warning on a true crime podcast, period, full stop.
This episode will not be a great listen for some people.
That's fair. That's fair. Although they have powerful endings and impacts because we're talking about survivor stories this week, and this was selected by Anna.
Mm-hmm.
And Anna is amazing, and we really appreciate it. And we haven't done an episode like this really before, but we talk a lot about a show that we love, which is called I Survived. So if you, I don't want to say the word enjoy this episode because this episode is really tough, as many episodes of this show are challenging to get through. But if you appreciate these, stories of survival and strength through some pretty horrific shit, and you want, more stories where people rise victorious in the end, I Survived is they're doing a podcast now, and it's great. Smaller bites, but you hear directly from the survivors, which I think is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So
I didn't mean this episode will necessarily be like a tough listen, although it probably will be, but triggering, yes.
Yeah,
so take care of your own mental health before you.
Yeah.
Don't try to power through if you're already having a bad day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Save it.
Yeah, the subject matter today is definitely dark. Anna even gave me the option because I have one of the fan requested stories today. And she gave me the option to skip it if it was too much. And I didn't want to skip it because I think it's an important story to tell. And I also just kind of made some decisions not to linger too long on the injuries and etc.
Details.
Right. Because, I often make that decision. We cover a lot of dark stuff, and it's not always the best for me or for the listeners to hear every horrific, gruesome detail of what happened to an individual, oftentimes women. And so we're allowed.
It can seem gratuitous sometimes.
Yeah, we're allowed to dial it back a little bit and just let you get the picture and then continue on. And that was definitely a choice that I made in today's episode as well. So thank you, Anna. And I hope that we do your fan pick justice and most importantly, do the survivors of these stories. And, in my case, there was also not a survivor. So we want to do all of these people justice, whether they are here to potentially hear this episode or not. That's the goal for any case that we cover. So let's dive in, but let's do it with a little bit of support
Yeah.
from our pairing this week. Anna also wanted me to pick another THC beverage. And so this is one that I have not paired before, and it's one of my favorites. If you are a Passages listener, Robbie and Aaron almost always have this in their fridge. And so when I go over there to record, I will look for, quote, my orange cream. It's so tasty. It's sweet, so I have to take insulin for it. But like, girl, I feel like I don't usually have like a very strong reaction to the beverages. But when I rock one of these and I hit the Benjamin simultaneously, you will elevate. Okay. So
yeah, I bet.
Today I'm talking about the Falling Knife Brewing Drippin Dream.
Oh, drippin'.
The can is super cute. It's literally like a blue and orange can with a big orange creamsicle popsicle on it. And that's what it tastes like.
Yum.
Babe, it's so good. This is a tall boy, and it is 10 milligrams of THC, and it's made locally. Pretty much all the THC beverages that we're able to sell in Minnesota are locally made and locally brewed. I don't think we really have much of a, because we like just started rolling out dispensaries, even though weed has been legal here for a couple of years now and like legal to grow. You could get Delta 9 immediately. So these are a Delta 9 THC beverage. They're absolutely delicious. And while they are made by a local brewery, if you live in Minnesota, you can get it at Total Wine and a bunch of other liquor stores. But what's interesting about Minnesota's weed legislation, and I know I've mentioned this before, and I'm curious to see how that might change now that dispensaries are becoming accessible, is that you can get THC beverages and gummies everywhere. Like,
yeah,
you can get them at the co-op.
Ubiquitous.
Yeah, you can get them at the liquor store. You can get them at the gas station sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we don't have, alcohol in our grocery stores, but a lot of them do carry THC beverages,
that is so wild to me.
It's wild. But one thing that Bill and I have definitely noticed in our THC beverage journey, because we have them frequently, is that a lot of times they are cheaper to get at the liquor store, which is wild, rather than the grocery store or the co-op, or even in some of the like soft dispensaries that we have right now that only sell kind of like the Delta 9, the gummies. They don't have flour and stuff like that. But oftentimes you can find like a good deal on them. So, and I don't know if Falling Knife, as a local brewery, I don't know if they sell these in like bulk on site, but a lot of the breweries in their tap room will offer these in cans, which I think is awesome, because then people who don't drink alcohol but do dabble in the herbal arts can have a substitute for a beer by cracking open a can of something like the Drippin Dream, which literally tastes like an orange creamsicle, but not in like the gross, it tastes like you just melted a popsicle and now you're drinking the like melt. Like, it's carbonated in a really nice balanced way. It's a little bit lighter. I love it. I can take down, maybe that's why it affects me so hard, is because like it tastes so good that I can suck one of them bad boys off in like a couple minutes.
Also, if you're overlapping with your Benjamin,
I'm always overlapping with my Benjamin.
Let's be real, but anything is going to taste better.
It's so good. And this is, I always like Flavor Pixels, as you know, that's like my go-to, because to me, it's like cracking a sparkling water. That tastes to me like a THC infused LaCroix kind of a situation. This is like dessert. This is like special occasion.
You're gonna have one.
Oh, you're gonna have one. It's Gorgina. So check them out. Falling Knife Brewing. God bless you. The Drippin' Cream is so stinking good. And unfortunately, I don't think they sell these out of state. That's the other weird thing too about getting THC beverages. Each state has their own laws about it and regulations around like who can produce them and where they can get them from. There's not a whole lot of like
It's such a fucking racket now.
It really is.
Everyone needs to just get on the same fucking page.
Well, it just needs to be federally legalized so we can release like fucking marijuana offenders who are overwhelmingly black and brown from fucking prison. It just makes me so sick. Like, I love marijuana. I think it's an amazing thing, and I have always felt that way. And it is sickening to me that we can be having this conversation and go to the grocery store and pick up these beverages while there are people still essentially enslaved by the prison system for marijuana offenses.
Yep.
What? And that's intentional. You know, prisons are for profit. There's a lot of profit in the slave labor of the prison system. That's why we're not changing it from a Schedule 1 substance so that these people can actually have their convictions overturned and be released. And you know what? Pay them fucking reparations. So that said, also, when you are making selections about where to pick up your flour or, you know, maybe where you're giving your money, consider, and I know that, you know, there are so many disparities in this industry, just like every other industry, but if you can find a black or brown or indigenous owned dispensary, try to prioritize giving them your money. And there are some really great programs online that are in support of the legalization of cannabis and the overturning and release of these convictions and these prisoners. So I can plop that in the notes as well so that people can take a look and see how they can support the cannabis industry in that way.
Great.
All right.
Well, about 10 minutes ago, I was just going to say, oh, I recognize those beer poles from Falling Knife.
Oh, yeah.
From the frickin' Marriott where my cousin's wedding was last weekend.
No way!
It was at the Marriott, like, hotel bar.
That's so awesome. I really do love when even bigger hotel chains like that work with local breweries and support local businesses. I think that's super fucking cool. Yeah, Falling Knife is great. Check them out. And yeah, I love that there are options like this so that we aren't all just stuck with only alcohol. There are other ways to relax and enjoy ourselves.
Yes. Let's diversify.
Yeah. And I'm about to do just that while we take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors. Unless, of course, you are an Uncorked member, which if you are, God bless you. Thank you so much. And if you're not, what are you waiting for? Skip these ads.
Yeah, seamlessly. It's just going to jump right to me blabbing for half hour.
Yeah, get discounts on live show tickets and live stream tickets. We do have a live stream, or 2 live streams up for sale for our Iowa and Kansas City shows in November. So you get $5 off your ticket if you're an Uncorked member at any level. And ad-free.
Exclusive merch,
bonus episodes. We're going to be, I think 1 or maybe 2 by this time are already out, but we're going to release some full episodes as bonuses of what kind of content we're putting on Uncorked so you can get a taste for it, see if it's something that you want more of, because we put a lot. You get 2 bonus episodes a month and then of our side projects, and then we also are starting to do some, not every month, but like we're going to do some Supercast Uncorked exclusive episodes that are only for you. We have one that we're working on for the end of this month that we're very excited about.
Yes.
That's your hint. All right. Let's go on break and then we'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
If you're running a business, you know that every time you miss a call, you're leaving money on the table. When every customer conversation matters, you need a phone system that keeps up and helps you stay connected 24/7. And that's why you need Quo.
You really do. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, is the #1 business phone system that streamlines your customer communications. And let me tell you, those customer communications at a restaurant is my experience with it. Pretty important, can be a huge pain in the neck if you're not doing it the smart way. It works through an app on your phone or your computer, so you don't have to carry around like 2 cell phones, one for work, or use a landline because, hello, it's 2025. Wake up.
Right.
With Quo, your team can share one number and collaborate on customer calls and text, sort of like a shared inbox, so anyone can just jump in and keep response times fast. And you can forget about voicemail. Quo's built-in AI agent can be set up in just a few minutes to handle calls after hours answer questions, and capture leads so you never miss a customer. Whether you're a solo operator drowning in calls and texts, or if you have a large team that just needs some better collaboration tools, Quo is a no-brainer. See why over 90,000 businesses trust Quo, formerly OpenPhone.
Get started free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/gals. That's QUO.com/gals. And if you have existing numbers with another service, Quo will port them over at no extra charge. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. We're not huge meat eaters in our house, so when we're craving it, it can be hard for me to know, like, what is high quality? What should I be buying? How should I be cooking it? How can I get creative? Like, my fridge sometimes at dinner is full of question marks, especially when it comes to my meat consumption. I don't know precisely what to do. And that's why ButcherBox has become like my best friend. They've got my back. You can skip the confusion at the supermarket. What cut do I get? What's grass fed? What's, what fish should I get? No. Let them do it for you, because ButcherBox is delivering better meat right when you need it, baby.
ButcherBox delivers better meat and seafood straight to your door, our favorite, including 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. They have it all. Mm-hmm. I love being able, midway through the day, I'm like, oh, what are we going to do for dinner? Oh, wait, I'm just going to open my freezer.
Oh, I have pork ribs in here ready to be slow cooked.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh my God. It has saved many a dinners in my household. All ButcherBox proteins are sourced from partners who meet strict animal welfare and sustainability standards. That means no antibiotics or added hormones ever. So whether you're feeding a growing family or trying to eat clean without the stress, or frankly, avoiding trips just to the grocery store, to the meat counter, ButcherBox offers curated or fully customizable plans that fit your schedule and your preferences. And as a certified B Corp, ButcherBox is committed to high standards, from how the animals are raised to how their team supports workers and reduces environmental impact. All very important things to me. I mean, having meat in your diet can be tricky enough, and ButcherBox just makes it so much easier to feel good about what you're consuming and just feel good about where that lands on the supply chain, Plus, every box ships for free always and includes member-only perks like recipe inspiration, tips, and exclusive deals to help you make the most out of every meal.
Right now, ButcherBox is offering our listeners $20 off their first box and free protein for a year. Go to butcherbox.com/gals to get this limited time offer and free shipping always. That's butcherbox.com/gals. Don't forget to use our link so they'll know we sent you.
It's easy to feel like you have a solid handle on your budget. Maybe if you're not paying that close of attention. Maybe your spreadsheet says you should have an extra $1,000 left over each month, but if your bank account isn't reflecting that, something's off. And Rocket Money helps you track every dollar, uncover hidden spending, and it's going to help you take firm control of your finances, and who doesn't need that?
She really is the adult in the room. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Who doesn't want to lower their bills? Hello.
For real.
Rocket Money shows you all of your expenses in one place. Lucy mentioned that dashboard. It is so, friendly.
Yeah.
It's easy to use. It's not a massive number overwhelm the second you open it. It's very easy to navigate. It just lays everything else that, everything you need to be managing in one place, including subscriptions that you forgot about, which is my, biggest issue, is my set it and forget it. I get that free, trial for a week because I really want to binge that show that came out 5 years ago, but everybody's been hassling me to watch it. And then I binge it and then I forget to get rid of it. And I'm like, why am I paying for blah, 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 plus XYZ max all these months later? They find it for you and they're like, hey, press this button, we'll help you cancel it. And you're like, okay, girl, you take it. Their dashboard also just lays out your total financial picture, including bill due dates and paydays. I love this. It knows when money is coming in and it knows when money is scheduled to come out, so you can make adjustments and changes that fit better with your payday schedule. I'm obsessed with that tool. This is a way that's super easy to digest that they lay it out. You can even automatically create custom budgets based on your past spending. So maybe you're saving up for something new. You can use your previous patterns that they've been tracking for you to like set up a custom budget. It's really amazing. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, including over $880 million in canceled subscriptions alone. Their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all of the app's premium features. So you don't have to just take it from us.
Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/gals today. That's rocketmoney.com/gals, rocketmoney.com/gals.
All right. We're back.
We're back.
Lucy, oh God, let's dive in. What do you have for us for Survivor stories? I'm scared.
Well, once again, I had to cut myself off because there were so many different directions I wanted to go with my background.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, we're going to start with a message from our fan picker, Anna, because she wanted us to read this at the top of the episode.
Okay.
So here we go. Anna says, I purchased this fanfic episode right before my 6-year anniversary of surviving the first of 2 brutal rapes in my early 20s.
Ugh.
I experienced them by 2 separate strangers in separate incidents almost exactly 1 year apart.
Oh my God.
One was and still is an active duty military member.
Ugh.
The next was and is a family chiropractor.
Oh my God. Also, by the way, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to come for me in the comments, and I know a lot of people who swear by chiropractors, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. They're not real fucking doctors.
Military people.
Oh, no. What? I'm not going there.
We'll get to that,
we know
too.
the statistics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never trust a chiropractor. I'm sorry.
It does seem like a pseudoscience.
Because it is.
It is, but like, yeah, people are going to yell at us either way.
Yep, we're always
you
getting
do
yelled
you.
at.
If
You
it
do
helps, great.
Great.
No one knows truly the mysteries of the back.
No one's touching my back. Mm-mm. You're not cracking shit. I don't trust a goddamn one of you. And I know my friend Katie is listening right now, and she swears by her chiropractor, but I've said it to her face. I'm saying it again, Katie.
Corey likes a chiropractor. Sometimes a back needs adjusting.
Sure.
And that's what a chiropractor does.
I mean, I'll just get the surgery.
The surgery? That will be way less inconvenient.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry not to interrupt, but just,
oh my
fuck
God.
a
Well, that was
chiropractor.
especially this one.
Mm-hmm.
Anna goes on to say, this can unfortunately happen to anyone, by anyone, at any time. I do not say this to scare people, but I say this because this means, without a doubt, that victim blaming is always 100% false.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to the victim blaming. I reported the first rape by the military member and endured 6 months of invasive interviews of me, not him, a hugely traumatizing and painful rape kit, medical visits that I had to pay for, and being denied my own legal representation and advocate because he is active duty military and I am but a lowly civilian.
Right. So they're going to spend the resources to protect him and not her, the victim.
Yeah. The civil state's attorney initially declined to prosecute, but the military courts later asked me for jurisdiction on the condition that I testify. I said, abso-fucking-lutely.
Good for you.
Looking back, I don't know how. I was just a 22-year-old baby. Also, extraordinarily brave.
Yes.
To do something like that. Then, surprise, surprise, the investigation, mostly on me, started all over again. He faced 30 years in federal prison and, more importantly in today's world, a dishonorable discharge. But what did he get? Nothing. The charges were dropped after 6 months and a preliminary hearing because I was, quote, not a reliable witness due to memory loss. Yeah, there's often little to no memory when a victim is unconscious. I was not required to be at court that day, but I needed to be for me. I looked him right in the eye while his defense attorney attacked my character, choices, and appearance. This first rapist actually told me when this happened to me that he has done this to at least one other person.
What the fuck?
The audacity.
Yeah.
So obviously, I really wanted to be the last. I did everything I could. Given the outcome of this first case, I did not bother reporting the chiropractor a year later.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah. I include these deeply personal parts of my own story because, at least for me, the ensuing legal nonsense was just as traumatic as the rapes themselves. The systems do not serve or protect women, as I am one of many. In fact, I am rare, and some would even say fortunate, that one of my rapists even made it to a preliminary hearing.
Right, that you got to face him in court at all.
Yeah. I have such privilege in that and more, and just wish that I could have saved us all from these two pieces of shit. I know that it's not my responsibility, but you can't fault a girl for trying.
Yeah.
However, I mostly share these parts of my story because I want all survivors to know that their experiences are valid, traumatic, and never, ever their fault, whether they report it or not.
Damn.
I have done both and could never fault anyone for either choice, and I dream of a world that doesn't fault either choice also. And if I'm dreaming really big, I'd love a world that supports survivors to report and actually makes it worth it by holding perpetrators accountable and protecting communities from further harm by these many, many men.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Now for some happier news. I've been grappling with post-traumatic symptoms, grief, rage, my own nervous system, patriarchy, our bullshit legal system, I refuse to call it a justice system, advocacy, and reclaiming my joy ever since this happened. However, I am so fortunate to share that I am doing great now, the happiest and healthiest I've ever been, but I know a great deal of that comes from privileges that I have, including a great support system and access to good medical care. I actually began working on my master's in clinical mental health counseling 4 months after my second rape and became a trauma therapist myself.
Wow.
I've now recently pivoted to work in HR for the sake of my own well-being and longevity, but needless to say, it's been quite a ride. More importantly, I moved to my favorite place on earth with my elderly dog. I read lots of good books, get to spend lots of time on the beach or in the mountains, eat most cookies I encounter, savor slowness and peace, and have so many awesome people I get to love who love me right back.
Oh, that's beautiful.
If my story can give even just one survivor just 1 ounce of hope, I would be overjoyed beyond words. This episode means a lot to me, and while it is about just a few badass survivors, I want all survivors to know that they are more badass than they know.
That's really beautiful, and you deserve that peace that you found.
Yeah. Move into the mountains with your dog, eating cookies, reading books.
100%.
All of it.
Live your life, live your beautiful life, because these motherfuckers who did this to you are not worth the gum on the bottom of your fucking shoe.
No. And so the same week that I scheduled this episode and I was emailing with Anna back and forth, and she had sent in that bit that now has made me cry for a fourth time. The same week we got another email from another listener with a similar story. So this is from Lena, and Lena wanted me to share this as well.
Okay.
So I've got 2 real life survivor stories for us at the top. Okay. Lena says, I've been contemplating sending this in for about a year. In February 2024, I finally escaped a horrific 8-year domestic violence situation with my 1-year-old daughter, 3 cats, and a dog.
Oh my God, you got everybody out. That's a miracle.
After binging your podcast for months and listening to some stories like mine, I sought solace in your voices through those terrifying moments. I thought my life was falling apart around me. After a dire threat, I moved home with my parents with my baby and fur babies. Because of your pod, I knew that there was a domestic violence hotline. I called them right away, and they connected me to my local resource, which is Project Safe. They provided me with a legal advocate right away, and they helped me get a protective order. Listening to your podcast helped me get through the last year and helped me finally share my story after so many years of silence. A year later, I'm in therapy and healing. I'm moving into a brand new house. I'm successfully divorced.
Yes, honey. Congratulations.
I love a good divorce.
Me too.
And I'm thriving in my career. My daughter will hopefully... I'm going to cry again.
That's all right. I know. Do you want a popcorn?
Popcorn.
Yeah. Okay. My daughter will hopefully never experience the violence I was subjected to. My animals are forever safe from their abuse as well. I also want to encourage anyone thinking about escaping domestic violence that they absolutely can do it. There are resources and there are helpers. The National Domestic Violence Helpline can be reached at 800-799-7233. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. You've helped empower me more than you'll know. I love you both. We love you too so much. And I will always be a dedicated listener. I've been super open publicly about my experience and have been speaking at a few Project Safe events. It's so important to spread the word. I never realized how common this experience is, and I'm so thankful to have survived and finally found peace in my life. And like, I just wanted to add that not only are you protecting your daughter right now with this act of bravery that you endured, you know, to leave, because it's so hard to leave, and it gets harder with every additional complexity to your life, including pets, because it's so common that pets, children, other things that your partner can kind of hold over you and use as a threat against you. It's not uncommon for
pets are a big one.
Huge
and some
one.
people don't leave for themselves. They leave to get their pets to safety.
Right. Or some people are manipulated into staying because the abuser threatens the pets, the children. So it's so brave that you did that, and that you showed your daughter that you don't deserve to be treated that way, that no one should ever treat her that way, and that you together you can do hard things. And I feel like that's something that often gets kind of left out of the conversation. Is not just, yes, it's great that you got your child and your pets away from imminent potential harm, like acts of violence against them, but to model how, like, your children learn from you how adults interact with each other. And so you showed that you could set boundaries and you have that self-worth, and that she shouldn't ever be treated that way, and that you can get help. You know, you showed her all of those important things.
And she's young enough that hopefully she will not have any memories of this person.
At least not, you know,
bad ones.
Terrible trauma, but obviously, you know, you know you're getting help, and family therapy for you and your daughter, I'm sure, will be important as she grows. We never quite know just how much children absorb, and none of that is your fault. And I'm just glad that you're still here to, you know, support each other, and that you have your family to help you. And it's just, and I'm glad that, you know, we could bring you a little bit of levity and joy throughout this awful experience. I think it's weird as podcasters that, like, we just sit here and we tell these stories, and we're talking to each other as friends. Yeah. And the intimate places where our voices show up is something that we don't always have, like, at the front of our mind. And it's really meaningful to us when people do mention things like that. And worth saying multiple times, I know we've said it before, that we hear a lot that we've kind of helped people find joy through really hard times. And that is so mutual. Like, all of you as listeners, obviously the people that we've met, we literally would be nothing without you. And we may have gotten you through a lot, but boy, howdy, have y'all gotten us through a lot.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you.
Made me cry and stuff like that.
Yeah. But that's good.
I do have a folder on my desktop that I read when I'm having a bad day, because we get really nice, really kind emails and DMs every once in a while, and I save them in a folder.
That's really special. I want you to share that folder with me.
I'll airdrop it to you.
Okay. I love that.
I'm going to need to take just a quick moment before I can continue with my segment. But yeah.
The magic of editing.
Magic of editing. Okay. Well, I'm back.
Hi.
With a fresh box of Kleenex.
Yes. Good call.
I'm not going to say that alcohol is always the solution for being sad, but I did get a bottle of wine out of the fridge during that short break.
That's okay. You can do that.
Here's a belated crack for us.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sad crack.
Wipe your sad crack. Ooh, that was good.
That was a good one.
That was a nice crack. Nice sad crack.
Sounds like my tears.
Just pouring.
It's good to cry.
Oh, it's really good. It's physically good for you, too.
Yeah.
You gotta cry. You got to.
I haven't cried in a little while.
Yeah, you were due. And, these survivors are worth crying for. God bless them.
Well, we're going to move away from the personal stories and work our way through some really awful statistics first.
Great.
Because that's what I'm here for. And I feel a little bit more comfortable in the more clinical, sciencey, statistical data side of it. Okay. So, but first I want to highlight some things about stats on sexual assault in general. Because while they can be widely available in many countries, they don't always capture the full picture for many reasons. First and foremost, rape is a widely underreported crime for 100 different reasons and equally valid reasons. So the stats, the numbers can just vary very widely based on estimates.
Right.
All the estimates are going to be different. So other reasons include the fact that in some jurisdictions, they only count male on female rape.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Those are the only form of rape counted in statistics because, as we know, there are only two genders and only one of those genders can commit sexual violence.
Right, exactly. What the fuck?
Some jurisdictions don't count being forced to penetrate someone else as rape because a lot of these stats, not like a crazy amount, but there are stats for like countries who are in war, experiencing war, and there is a lot of use of rape and sexual assault as a tool of war,
which is fucking sick.
Yeah, so I think that some of the, and I'm not saying that someone forcing a person to rape someone else or penetrate someone else only happens during wartime.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. But that was one of the examples that this article had. And it was just kind of like, well, yeah, if you're thinking of like rape and sexual trauma as like a tool of war, a weapon.
It might not.
And people probably get super fucking creative and do all sorts of shit.
Right.
It's like, where do the parameters really fall where you're defining rape?
Well, and when it's like shrouded by quote unquote acts of war, then it's even less reported and regarded as rape or sexual assault.
And that stuff like that could probably happens in like, events of like hazing or,
Sure.
I don't know. All sorts of shit happens everywhere all the time. Countries also may not define forced sex on a spouse as rape.
I was just going to say there are a lot of laws around marriage.
So having said all of this, the UN reports that there are slightly north of about 250,000 reported rapes or attempted rape annually across 65 countries. And it's super sad to say that this number seems low.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. Well, again, these are the reported rapes.
Yep,
so
reported.
Keep that in mind. According to RAINN, which stands for Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, so it's primarily it's sexual violence, really, but RAINN's stats include those sort of three areas. Every 74 seconds, someone in the United States is sexually assaulted. Every 9 minutes, that someone is a child.
Ugh.
An estimated 423,000 Americans aged 12 or over experience sexual violence every single year. So that's
great.
An estimated 423,000 just in the U.S. And then the UN reports there are about half of that across 65 countries, like reported. So I know that one was reported and one is an estimate. Those are two different pools, but like the disparity between these numbers is so fucking frustrating.
It is.
Because you really do not understand the totality and like how prevalent this shit is everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows someone, whether you know it or not, who has been assaulted. And, I myself am one of those statistics. And I have many, many friends who fall in the margins of those statistics. It's just, it's all too fucking common.
Well, it's just really sad, too, that, like, if you're a woman, well, 1 in 6 women in the U.S. have experienced attempted or what they called completed rape.
Right.
Which is so fucking foul.
And I
hate
didn't
that.
report my assault because it happened during a consensual one-night stand. You know,
Yeah.
like things just changed really quickly in an instant. And I just kind of powered through so that I could leave.
Powering through.
It was definitely like that fight, flight, or freeze thing. You know, sometimes I just felt the safest freezing and then moving on. And, you know.
Well, for all you know, that person could have gotten violent or something. That is often the safest option. That at least how you feel in the moment.
Right. And then by the time I was really able to like unpack even what that was, which really was several years later, kind of during like the Kavanaugh trials, it was like really everywhere. And I started talking about it with my therapist. The circumstances of the assault in the first place, I never would have gotten anywhere with a report, you know, and B,
what were you wearing?
Exactly, you know, and B, now years had passed. So it was like, there's all these things stacked against me. So I was just like, you know.
There's no fucking point. There's absolutely no point.
No, and I didn't need to go there to move forward with my own life. And I talked to people who knew him and made sure they knew the deal. And that felt good enough for me. And it is what it is. But it's like this, not even, you know, just the scope of what sexual violence, rape, assault
can
look like is so vast that these numbers, and I trust RAINN's numbers a lot. Like I really do. We have links to them on our resources page. We
and I tried to pull
huge fans of RAINN.
I tried to pull all of my stats like this from the same page just so they were at least all like consistently verified.
Yeah, it's just all to say that like these are, like you said, they're estimates. So it's, and that doesn't mean, oh, it's probably lower. Like, no, baby, that means it's definitely higher.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like also, did you read the story or see the movie? I think it was called Cat Person.
I don't think I did.
Did you hear about it? Did you hear about the story?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not remembering the story connected with that title. So maybe when you,
I think it was a New Yorker article that came out a few years ago, but it was like a short story about fictional, I think, but it was like all too familiar to every single woman. It's from her perspective. She goes on a date with a guy. He's like kind of clumsy and awkward, and like the date's not going particularly well, but she's just like, whatever. Like I can kind of do what I want. They ended up back at his house, and there was like really murky whether it was like coercive sex because she never really said no.
Sure.
But like the encounter was so bad and awkward. But the movie Cat Person, it kind of goes off the rails at the end. Very entertaining, but also I think the story in the first place was a lot more. And then I think it was Aziz Ansari had that weird, like, it was just a bad date.
That reminds me a lot of
that gray area.
The Aziz Ansari situation.
I have had an encounter when I was in college and doing my thing in college. And like, it was fine. It was fine. Like the next day I was just like, but there was no like this was in like 2006. It's like, but there was no like explicit consent. And it was also just bad. Yeah. So like, where do we draw the line? But if I didn't feel violated, which I did not, then I'm not, then I don't think I was violated.
I think the line is yours as an individual to draw.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just bizarre assessing whether or not you had a bad night with a guy or whoever.
Right.
Or you were raped.
Well, and that was what was so hard in my situation, because in my situation, just to be totally transparent, I was sodomized without my consent. And that was during a sex act. And after the fact, there was sort of a like weak, that was an accident situation, but like, no, it wasn't. You know, looking back,
that's not an accident.
It was not an accident.
But also how vulnerable you must have felt in that moment. You can't, it'd be so hard to speak up and say no.
Right.
You wouldn't feel like you even had that option.
No. And that was exactly how it felt to me at the time. And at the time, I feel like I was just really confused because I was like, oh, gee, what the fuck? And then, I just kind of got out of there as soon as I could. And I was in my early 20s, recently single, like kind of like what you were saying, just kind of doing my thing. I knew him, but I didn't know him super well.
Yeah.
He was like a bartender somewhere, not where I worked. And it wasn't until...
Oh my God. Were we gray assaulted by the same person?
No.
No, we did not.
Definitely not. But yeah, it wasn't until later. And honestly, like the Aziz Ansari thing, I really do... that I identify with the victim in that situation really heavily because it just brings up the whole concept of like continued enthusiastic consent. If you want to switch things up in the bedroom mid-act, great. You have to ask me first. Like, I'm not even saying that that's not like an avenue that I have not gone down or wouldn't go down again, but with preparation and working with my partner, not just
communication.
Yeah. And I was like in pain for days afterward. I mean, it was backdoor-ish is
something
was not
you
good.
Probably want to prepare for.
But there are plenty of people, frankly, in my comments who have, trolled mostly, but like who have said when I've talked about this before that it wasn't assault because, did you say no? It's like, there's people always are going to poke holes and do shit like that. And it's easy for me because I've been on
part of the fucking problem.
Exactly. We've been on the internet now for so long that like that shit really does not faze me specifically anymore because that's just kind of part of the game. Like we're very used to trolls in our comments. But
very hollow.
I really just put so much of my heart out to victims who are brave enough to come forward and share their stories and get treatment like that online or in person. And not everybody has that like fortified muscle to just go, okay, well, I don't give a fuck about you. Like, fuck off. I don't care what you have to say.
That's a very strong muscle to have.
And it's hard. And it doesn't always work. I mean, 90% of the time I can just not really give a shit what people think about me or say about me on the internet. But like, there's certainly days where it's harder. But yeah, I just really feel for people who experience that kind of bullshit. It's like people should just fucking believe you when...
We're gonna get to a lot more of this. So I'm gonna keep running through our stats. And then there are 1 in 10 of these estimated annual victims in the U.S. is male because just a reminder, men can be assaulted and raped too.
Absolutely. And
it has nothing to do with their manliness or their strength or their sexuality.
No, that is a reality. And also, when we dismiss rape against people who have penises, there's also like, I believe in those statistics, there may also be some misrepresentation of trans women. Because some of this comes from actual reporting, and when there's transphobia in our justice system, and the person that or persons that you file your report with do not, list your affirmed gender, then those statistics can also get fucked up. So like that's another part of why it's so important that like we actually give a shit about trans rights and honoring people's gender identity, so that we can get this shit right.
And all of this falls into the same like topic that we were just talking about. The only rape that's accounted for is male on female.
Right.
If the genders don't align with what we're trained to and biased to think in our mind, a man raping a woman, then something's off. Something's fishy. Like someone's lying. Something's not right.
Right. Or that you could wave away, oh no, he raped a trans woman, so that
doesn't count.
So that doesn't count. It's like, no, it fucking counts.
Or a woman raped a man. Like, what, are you complaining?
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
It's like, sick. That kind of like toxic masculinity shit is so fucked up. And then, these boys and men don't feel like they can come forward.
We'll get to the rape culture of it all. Ugh. Okay. 69% of sexual assault victims, survivors, are between the ages of 12 and 34.
Good Lord, how young that fucking shit starts.
And then I think probably under 12, it might not even be classified as rape. It would just be child abuse.
Well, and if that 12 to 34 or whatever is an average, that's a pretty wide number. That means
69%. That's just, I think it was just, I just included it because it's pointing out almost 70% of survivors are between the ages of 12 and 34.
Okay,
so
sorry, I misunderstood.
It skews much younger. Females age 16 to 19 are 4 times more likely than the general population to be victimized. Women ages 18 to 24 who are college students are 3 times more likely than women in general to experience sexual violence. So young women attending college. Males aged 18 to 24 who are college students are approximately 5 times more likely than non-students of the same age to be a victim of rape or sexual assault. Like the numbers for the guys are super high.
Yeah, they are.
And I know we're talking in binary terms. It's statistics. It's very dumbed down. Indigenous Americans are twice as likely to experience a rape or sexual assault compared to all races. An estimated 80,600 inmates each year experience sexual violence while in prison or jail, because that's another population that has crazy high. Like, the number should be 0, but they're already incarcerated. They're already, under the control of, and there are private prisons, and there's the power dynamics and the psychology. Like, we all saw the Stanford prison experiment. It doesn't take a huge leap to see that there are sexual assaults in prison, just by nature of the power dynamics. Only an estimated 30% of sexual assaults that happen in the military are reported. As our fan picker was talking about, an active duty military person, to have them charged, prosecuted, sentenced in a military court, or even if it's not in a military court, just having those ties. Only 30% are reported in the first place. And so that's probably why.
Reported and like making it to trial, like our fan picker, she's part of that 30%.
And she acknowledged.
And it didn't even go.
Yes, because she reported it.
So
she's even in a more elite percentage, because as she acknowledged, it made it to it got to in front of a judge.
Right. But it got tossed out. So it's like,
right.
The 30% report, all I'm saying is the report is not a reflection of not even just conviction, but like court
just
sentencing
people coming forward.
Period, full stop. Like,
yeah,
that's all that reporting means, is that someone filed a report about an assault. And a lot of times they don't get investigated at all.
Yeah, it doesn't include investigation, charges, court sentencing, anything like that.
Anything. It's just I submitted somewhere that this fucking happened to me. That's all that is.
Meanwhile, last week as we record this, or maybe 2 weeks ago, the big fucking military presence, Pete Hegseth's circle jerk moment, well, regular jerk moment. No, I don't feel like anyone else was having it. But he was talking about expunging the records of like top military people.
Yep.
They were just gonna do away with
make it go away.
Any kind of
disparaging
consequences
reports.
He said we don't want to walk on eggshells anymore. Respecting other people's autonomy, bodies
is walking on eggshells.
Dignity.
I mean, our president is a pedophile rapist.
I'm not surprised. It's just fucking gross.
No, that is all you fucking need to know about the society in which we live and how seriously that society takes sexual violence. Period. Because if we took that seriously, there is no way that man would have ever even been able to run for president. It would have been a joke for him to run for president. And it is a joke, but like,
it would have been shut down real quick.
Immediately. Nobody would have fucking voted for him if in those numbers, if our society actually cared about sexual violence.
Okay, few more stats. 57% of perpetrators are white. 37% have prior convictions, which is not the same thing as saying that they've never sexually assaulted anyone before, because we don't know what the convictions
They just hadn't been convicted,
Yeah, but like 37% are already
they have prior convictions.
Criminals. 37% have prior convictions.
For something. Could be anything.
For something.
Okay.
But I'm also not saying that they have not sexually assaulted anyone before, but those never brought charges.
Okay.
Because again, now we're thinking about actual rapes and then just charges or reports. And then beyond that, actual convictions and time served.
Right. And those from
many layers.
From the actual rapes to the reports to the convictions, the numbers drop like crazy.
It's a very flat pyramid.
Oh, it's tragic.
And 10% of perpetrators have at least 5 prior felony convictions. 52% of perpetrators will be released while awaiting trial, so like out on bond, and 7% will be rearrested while waiting for a court decision.
Yeah, for another crime or violation in some way. Yeah.
Something. 51% of released prisoners are rearrested within 3 years. So just a little bit of good news, because let's take it while we can find it. Between 2002 and 2013, the average time served for sexual violence crimes increased by 10 months.
Okay.
So the average went from 38 months to 48 months served.
Yeah, so they're actually like bringing more serious consequences. Yeah.
And then Me Too was in like, what, 2018?
It was
18?
Yeah, because
2017-ish?
Yeah, that was like right around the Kavanaugh hearings, right?
Yeah, so that has happened since this timeline.
Okay.
I know data takes time to like aggregate and all that stuff. So hopefully we're still trending
upward
in a more equitable direction. So as a society, which we were sort of talking about before, we have been able to sort of give a name to the monster in recent decades, and we call that monster rape culture. So this absolutely contributes to the rates of sexual assault in the US and many parts of the world, especially like Western. So some examples that I see fucking all the time, we need to stop doing it. And like I challenge, like anyone who's listening has done or consented to these things at some point in their lives, just because this is how our culture and our society has been and is today and could be different tomorrow. Okay, examples being trivializing sexual assault by saying something like boys will be boys.
Right.
Or he hit you because he likes you.
Oh, God.
That kind of stuff.
I hate that shit. I really hope that as a society, we're like moving away from that bullshit with our kids.
Tolerance of sexual assault, inflating false rape report statistics. Because as we've talked about, like any statistics, those are highly questionable, not even including any, I'm not validating false rape report statistics.
Yeah. And you know what? There's also like, there's racial bias, I feel like wrapped up in accusations like that.
We'll get to them.
I just mean specifically about the like false accusation thing, because like
that's the thing, for example, a white woman accusing a black man of rape.
Correct. It's like, okay, it is so rare, so like negligible how often someone will make a false report of rape just to ruin someone's life. But it is a daily occurrence where like a Karen who sees a black person in a neighborhood they're not supposed to be in will call the cops.
I'm threatened.
That they're threatened. And it's like, okay, so it's like the Venn diagram of people who will be out here talking about false rape accusations and will be out here either doing or not giving a fuck about white folks calling the cops needlessly on black and brown people. ICE, for fucking example, is a circle. It's the same shit. It's like, it's bullshit on this side. It's real racism on this side, but you only fucking pull out the card that works for you. It's like, fuck off. Fuck off.
Yeah. Okay. Also putting pressure on men to quote unquote score. Sort of like what I mentioned with the female on male sexual assault,
it's
possibly.
A serious
like,
problem.
Are you complaining? What's wrong with you?
Don't
you want to get laid? Yeah. That's not cool.
And this, I feel like, shows up a lot, you know, not just in violent assault, like in the moment, physically violent, but also in age disparity relationships, like statutory rape, where a lot of younger boys.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, I think of like the first fucking season of Dawson's Creek. Stay with me here. And Pacey, there's like a love interest Like
with the teacher.
Romanticized storyline of 15-year-old Pacey sleeping with one of his middle school teachers.
And it was not portrayed as a bad thing.
Not really. I mean, they clearly knew it was wrong because she was always freaking out about them getting caught.
Yeah, but that was like
in
the
a sexy way.
It wasn't like you're abusing a child.
Oh, it's really fucked up. And so that it's like, if that's the culture that we're raising these, let's just on the binary, these boys in, then if an older woman takes advantage of them, if they are sexually assaulted by an older woman who is preying on them because they're vulnerable and horny, so they don't know to say no, but the power dynamic is so fucked up that you can't do that shit. And then we play it off like, oh yeah, good for you. You lost your virginity to an older woman. Like, score. Like, no, that is violence. That's sexual violence against a child.
Yeah.
The fuck? Why is this so normalized? It's crazy.
And why doesn't the adult know better? That's what the adult is supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're not listening to a 15-year-old boy's like, yeah, sure, I'll have sex with you, hot teacher.
Right.
Like, that's not...
Really?
That's not the same thing as consent because they're a child.
Yep.
Also, that reminds me, this is going to be such a horrible sounding segue. I think it was a stand-up comedian, or it was someone who was like, can you imagine being like in the room where lawmakers first decided the age of consent and they were like, okay, let's decide the age of consent. You were the first person to speak up.
Oh my God.
Isn't that awful to think about?
Yeah, I mean,
so
all
it was
of
like, 14? And everyone's like, ooh, no. And you're like, oh, I meant 25.
Okay, too high.
I know. Like the negotiating.
Oh, no.
It's gross to think about.
So
but
gross.
It was funny when I heard it. Okay. Also, on the same flip side, well, so to speak, pressuring men to score is pressuring women not to appear quote unquote cold, because that just means unapproachable. That means unfuckable. And who cares? I'm minding my own. Get the fuck out of my face.
Baby, be unfuckable.
Be the most
Go off.
So cold.
Yes.
No.
They don't
being unfuckable
deserve
is
it.
where you want to be. I've been saying for at least a decade, I can't wait to be at an age where I feel invisible.
Yeah. It's going to be nice.
Because I think a lot of, especially women, sort of like struggle with like, oh, I'm just an old lady. No one sees me anymore.
No.
Oh, God, I can't wait for the day.
I cannot wait until I am no longer perceived.
Ugh.
Let's go.
That said, around 6% of sexual violence is against people 65 or older.
Yeah.
So elder abuse in that sense is also nothing to ignore.
Yeah. And again, unreported, because we do know that there's a lot of horny nonsense happening in elder care facilities. And so it's really hard because now we can't really factor in super well statistics of
also caregiver abuse.
Right. Caregiver abuse.
A lot of older people don't have the capacity to report something
dementia.
like that.
Like there are so many vulnerabilities among children and the elderly that do not allow us to get a fully clear picture of what is potentially happening. Because they not only can they not consent, they really can't report in some cases. Not all cases, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. More frequently than the general population.
Right.
Also contributing to rape culture, assuming that men don't get raped, which we've talked about, refusing to take rape accusations seriously, and also teaching women to avoid getting raped.
Yep.
That shouldn't
It is
have
not
to
the
be a fucking
responsibility
thing.
of the victim.
Which is not to say that you shouldn't be teaching girls and women to, or, femme people.
How to protect themselves.
How to protect yourself.
Of course.
But also putting the onus on the people who are the victims in the vast majority of these cases. I'm sorry, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, none.
That is the most victim blamey. Which brings me to the victim blaming. It is a psychological response. So just like sort of the reason why our brains go there in the first place is because we want to put as much distance between ourselves and the unpleasant occurrence as possible. And we do that to deny our own vulnerability to say, I'm not her. I don't act like her. That wouldn't happen to me. It must be her fault. It's a natural human reaction, but take it a step further.
Well, yeah, it doesn't mean that we can't and shouldn't dismantle it.
Because the effect is that you are siding with the perpetrator.
Right.
So always take a victim, a survivor at their word and just across the board, just do that. It's estimated that nearly 2/3 of all rape survivors disclose the assault to at least one person, not necessarily the police.
Right. It's not a report.
Could be their best friend or their whatever.
A teacher, a parent.
A therapist. But that's only 2/3, and that doesn't include reporting to the authorities. So why don't some victims do that? Some survivors. I'm sorry, I'm using victim and survivor kind of interchangeably, and I don't mean to be. Some of these websites do use them, but language is important, and obviously using the term survivor is a much more empowering term to use than victim.
Yeah.
So,
and, people who have experienced violence will also have their own autonomy over how they want to be referenced. Some people do connect more with the word survivor. Some people connect more with the word victim. But I'm glad that
they have different implications.
Right. I'm glad you're acknowledging that there's different terminology and we're doing the best we can.
And language matters. So just addressing, I have not been doing a good job at using those two words very intentionally. So, okay. So why is it that some survivors don't come forward about their abuse? And that is a very, very complicated question to answer. So sexual assault, and to a different degree, sex in general, is highly stigmatized. So it is a different and often more complex type of trauma than, say, getting mugged.
Yeah, getting mugged. Yeah.
And it can be really fucking hard to unpack that and cope with it and heal from it. It can be a really long process.
Yeah, it can be hard to recognize that what you experienced even was assault in the first place because of the way that we have societally augmented the narrative and the reality around sexual violence.
Is it just a rude man?
Was
with
it just
poor
bad
social
sex?
skills? Was it just bad sex? He's just bad with women, or was it rape?
I wrote a stand-up comedy bit about my experience before coming to terms with it.
I forgot you did stand-up comedy. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
You should do it again.
I was just going to say, never again. It's too hard.
Oh. I'd be too nervous.
It's terrifying. It's just you out there, baby. I need you.
I know.
I need you or I need Robbie. I can't do it alone.
I couldn't do it alone.
No.
I've had so many nightmares where
I don't show up for a live
there.
show. Yeah,
yes.
I know. You text me about them every time. Like, I would never.
It's traumatizing.
It's trauma. I would never do it to you.
Wake up feeling so nervous.
Dripping in sweat.
I wake up just overloaded with stomach acid
I
have those dreams.
I would never leave you like that. I promise.
Well, one time you did. I think you had to go to the bathroom or throw up or something.
Right, but not for I wouldn't bail on a whole show.
Oh, no.
No, I'll leave you alone
what
for a
would I
minute.
do? I would do a dance routine.
Cancel. Honey, just cancel.
No, I'd try to power through. I'd try to give the people what they paid for.
I'd strap on my papier-mâché Amanda head.
A dance routine. I'd be like Ashley Simpson when her mic was fucked up on SNL.
Doing your jig.
Yeah, my jig. Which I saw live, by the way.
Oh,
when
me
it
too.
actually first aired. That was so embarrassing.
I'm over the question of, do you remember where you were when 9/11 happened? It's do you remember where you were when Ashley Simpson did that jig?
Jigged on SNL.
I remember.
I do.
We saw it.
That was right around the time we went to the Ashley Simpson concert.
So of course we tuned into that SNL.
Oh, yeah.
We love that.
I stayed up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh my God. Okay. Back to how complicated it can be to heal from sexual violence trauma. Okay. There are a multitude of reasons why a person would not come forward. So from financial reasons, like, oh, I can't afford a lawyer, I can't do that, or I can't take time off from work or childcare to go in and do the whole fucking thing. There might be a distrust of the legal system. There might be a fear of the abuser, of like any kind of retribution. They might have experienced PTSD from the event. They might not want to risk social isolation. They might not want to burden loved ones, which breaks my fucking heart.
Yeah, that's you are not a burden, honey.
No, but one of the studies that I pulled from was a report. It was a study of 8 different survivors of sexual assault. And each one of them had come out to like 1 or 2 different people, told their story to like 1 or 2 different people, and then stopped telling people about it.
Oh, because they could feel that they were being treated differently, maybe?
There were negative reactions.
That's fucking heartbreaking. People really don't know how to respond to or show up for like trauma.
We're going to get to it.
Yeah.
But that's where the burden, feeling like a burden on your loved one was. But these and more, there can be many barriers for survivors to find help. Additionally, men and boys may be more reluctant to disclose sexual abuse due to stigma and beliefs around masculinity. And LGBTQ plus individuals may also face unique stigma and lack social support to cope with an assault. So very layered. Also, downplaying the lived experiences of a person of color, an American classic. That might be another reason why a person wouldn't want to go get a rape test, for example.
Right.
Negative social and professional reactions. So by professional, I mean like an attorney or a doctor, like a hospital, a professional capacity.
Okay.
That just ignoring them or downplaying or not believing them or not giving them the services that they're asking for.
Right.
Victim blaming, which we've talked about. Denial or lacking medical or legal services. Also, support efforts that are well-intentioned from like your friends or family that nonetheless are experienced by the survivor as negative.
They're
so,
harmful.
For example, encouraging secrecy. Don't tell anyone. That's so embarrassing. Don't tell anyone about that. I can't believe that happened to you. Or like patronizing, like, oh my God, I'll call the police for you. Like, don't worry about, like, I will take care of everything. It's not your journey. Always helpful. It's also not respecting the autonomy of your friend.
Right. It's always worth
to make their own decision.
If they would like your support or your assistance filing a report, if you would like them, they'd like you to go with them to the doctor to be an advocate, but just being like, I'll do this for you. Yeah, is not. It's a violation, just like the act was.
Also, it's a totally valid thought that the cops aren't going to believe the person reporting the sexual assault.
And we've talked about a lot the stats of domestic violence and abuse among police law enforcement, as well as military
members.
Yeah. And
it's people who have like a high degree of authority in their jobs.
And if domestic violence is happening, it is very common for that to include sexual assault. And I think sometimes, again, talking about these statistics being a challenge, sexual assault, even in a lot of cases that we cover, is included under a larger umbrella of charges that are more severe to give them time. So somebody that was like maybe put away for murder also violently sexually assaulted their victim. And that charge was dropped because they just wanted to focus on the largest charges with the largest prison sentence, essentially.
Oh my God, that is so fucking infuriating.
It's
or
infuriating.
If they leave out whole cases like, oh, well, he already got 6 life sentences.
Right.
What's another 10 more?
Right. For the 6 people he killed.
God.
I know. They don't want to spend the resources.
I know. And
it's dehumanizing. I mean, it really just whittles human beings down to, we don't have time or money for you. And I can't hate that enough.
Yeah. Okay. So all of these things and more can lead survivors to question both the effectiveness of such systems the police, the lawyers, the, incarceration, the quote unquote, the legal system, and also the usefulness of reaching out for help to anyone at all. So when survivors are exposed to victim blaming behaviors or attitudes, or really just kind of anything we've just discussed, the experience may feel like a second assault, which is a phenomenon that has been named as a secondary victimization.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of survivors have talked about their experience of going to trial and having their entire sexual history picked apart by the
Anna's story.
Yes. By the opposing throughout the investigation and then on the stand, which is put on the fucking record.
It would
takes
be
a
so
lot to
much
endure that.
easier in my mind, and I'm not saying this is the right answer for everyone, but my God, I would just want to lay down and have it be over.
I know. I don't. As someone who did not file a report, I do not blame people who do not report. There are plenty of reasons to feel like it's not worth the trauma, the effort, the time.
That said, of course, there is good that could come out of a report.
Absolutely.
So, I guess we're just saying we do not judge either way, because I can absolutely see totally valid cases on both sides.
100%.
So this next part is from a 2022 article from the American Psychiatry Association, the APA. It's listed as a continuing education piece, which I really appreciate. So this is meant for current therapists or people like studying to become therapists about how to better help their patients. Though differing definitions and methodologies clearly return a range of prevalence numbers for sexual assault, as we've been talking about, the bottom line is that the experience is common, and clinicians are likely to treat individuals who have been assaulted even if it's not the primary reason for treatment. If you're a clinician, if you're a therapist, there's no world in which you won't come across a patient who has not experienced sexual violence.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't in therapy for that. It just came out in therapy when other shit was going on that made me think more deeply about the experience that I had.
And with 1 in 6 estimated, like you said at the top, everyone knows somebody who has gone through this. And sometimes it just kind of comes up in conversation. I've been with friends who I don't even really know super well, and they're like, oh, yeah. And they're very, very open about it. And I think for a lot of people, that does bring with it some therapeutic benefits.
Yeah.
It's not, that won't be the case for everyone, as nothing is, but like some people do find healing in being open and honest about it. And I think that we should elevate those stories, like Anna and Lena said, because it's a lot more fucking common than we realize.
Right.
It's sort of like when people really started talking about their abortions.
Right.
And I'm not equating them.
No.
They are two very different experiences.
Oh, absolutely.
But in terms of like issues that are largely unique to women and that
are deeply vulnerable and deeply personal
and stigmatized.
They are much more common than I think most people would like to believe.
Research has shown that sexual victimization often has mental health consequences, particularly post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, depression, and anxiety. The big three.
Yep.
Findings have been consistent on this front going back at least 4 decades, according to a review led by community psychologist Rebecca Campbell, PhD of Michigan State University. It says studies dating back to the 1980s find that between 17 and 65% of women who have experienced sexual assault develop PTSD. And again, the stats, the discrepancies of these numbers.
Right. Yeah, that's
it
a
just
huge
goes to
window.
show how complicated the whole thing is. Between 13 and 51% develop depression, and up to 40%, I don't know why they changed the language there, but up to 40% experience generalized anxiety. Alcohol dependence and substance misuse are also common. Though these impacts are well known in the psychology community, the hashtag #MeToo movement and high-profile cases such as that of Jeffrey Epstein have pushed sexual assault into the public spotlight in recent years. The psychology community, too, is increasingly attuned to the impacts of complex trauma, said Siobhan Moore Laban, PhD, who is a counseling psychologist who specializes in trauma and an assistant professor at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology's Washington, D.C. campus. Dr. Moore Laban, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her name, also wrote a book called The Black Woman's Guide to Overcoming Domestic Violence. So if that speaks to you, they had a lot of quotes in this article. They sound so fucking smart and definitely adept at tying in race relations in the United States with sexual violence and how people can cope with that.
Right.
Complex trauma can spring from experiences such as sexual assault, as well as the cumulative impact of factors such as racism and other forms of violence, because all of these things go very much hand in hand.
Yes, they do.
So if you are a survivor and you are thinking about getting help, needing help, you can call RAINN's national hotline, and that number is 800-656-HOPE or 4673. Or you can also text the word HOPE, HOPE, to 64673. They have free confidential support available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in English and in Spanish. They will likely connect you to local resources that can help you more directly.
Yeah, it's an amazing start.
Yep. And then Lena gave a number too. I'm going to read that again. So Lena gave the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and that is 1-800-799-7233.
And I do believe both of these resources are also on our website, which is kind of convenient. Like, a lot of these websites are brilliantly built with a quick, like, click away that can show a different screen.
Yes.
But if you are looking for resources,
someone comes into the room that shouldn't be seeing that.
But it's kind of nice to also have an extra backup that's like, you're just on the Wine and Crime website, a podcast that you like. Yeah. You could just check it out. Oh, I clicked to this page. I didn't know what it was. But, you know, it's there. It's like discreet enough. It's still in our branded colors that you can peruse some of those resources without it being super obvious, like what you're looking for. So nice little bonus.
And then lastly, if you are a person who is supporting someone who has survived sexual violence, just showing up for them is the most important thing that you can do. I think it's important to sort of be quiet and let them tell their own story. Don't interrupt them. Just listen to them. Don't doubt what they're saying. And then just remember to place 100% of the blame on the perpetrator, because that is where it belongs. That is how it needs to be for this person to find some healing.
Right. And to ask them what they need. Don't volunteer
and don't let
for them.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, ask them what they need, listen to them. Don't judge them for their decisions before or after the assault, like whether they've gone to authorities. I think as somebody who, well, I won't give specifics, but one of my good friends came to me in high school and said that they had been assaulted, and my initial reaction was like, no, you didn't. And that was awful.
Yeah. I mean, we were kids.
We were kids, and there was definite judgment happening, but I think that's it's an easy road to sort of go down depending on like who this person is to you in your life. And also, if you love them terribly, you're like, why didn't you call the police yet? Like, what are you thinking? Because you love them.
Right.
And it's really important to respect their boundaries, respect that they need to have control over this process.
Yep.
Because it might be a very long road to healing. They need to make their own decisions. You are there as a person to deliver a hot meal, give them a hug, let them cry on you, let them tell you about it.
Yeah. And that regardless of how you may have responded to stories of sexual violence in the past, you know, like Lucy mentioned, we can learn and we can grow and continue to do better.
Yeah. We can always.
In all things.
We can always change. And yeah. Like we've been saying, this shit is so much more prevalent than we realize. And so if this kind of violence hasn't touched your life, but either you or a loved one, then that's a very fortunate position to be in. And I think everyone should be prepared to make the right decisions for survivors of sexual trauma, whether it is themselves or someone that they love.
Right.
Because it's unfortunately common.
Yeah. Well, damn.
Anyway.
Good work.
Thank you for letting me cry a couple times.
Yeah.
And really scared for Amanda's case. The dam is fragile.
Well, let's destroy it, shall we? But first, a word from our sponsors.
Sounds great. I'll just keep drinking my wine, making that dam thinner and thinner.
Yup. Let her flow. We're not huge meat eaters in our house, so when we're craving it, it can be hard for me to know, like, what is high quality? What should I be buying? How should I be cooking it? How can I get creative? Like, my fridge sometimes at dinner is full of question marks, especially when it comes to my meat consumption. I don't know precisely what to do. And that's why ButcherBox has become like my best friend. They've got my back. You can skip the confusion at the supermarket. What cut do I get? What's grass fed? What's, what fish should I get? No. Let them do it for you because ButcherBox is delivering better meat right when you need it, baby.
ButcherBox delivers better meat and seafood straight to your door, our favorite, including 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. They have it all. Mm-hmm. I love being able, midway through the day, I'm like, oh, what are we going to do for dinner? Oh, wait, I'm just going to open my freezer.
Oh, I have pork ribs in here ready to be slow cooked.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh my God. It has saved many dinners in my household. All ButcherBox proteins are sourced from partners who meet strict animal welfare and sustainability standards. That means no antibiotics or added hormones ever. So whether you're feeding a growing family or trying to eat clean without the stress, or frankly, avoiding trips just to the grocery store, to the meat counter, ButcherBox offers curated or fully customizable plans that fit your schedule and your preferences. And as a certified B Corp, ButcherBox is committed to high standards from how the animals are raised to how their team supports workers and reduces environmental impact. All very important things to me. I mean, having meat in your diet can be tricky enough, and ButcherBox just makes it so much easier to feel good about what you're consuming and just feel good about where that lands on the supply chain, Plus, every box ships for free always and includes member-only perks like recipe inspiration, tips, and exclusive deals to help you make the most out of every meal.
Right now, ButcherBox is offering our listeners $20 off their first box and free protein for a year. Go to butcherbox.com/gals to get this limited time offer and free shipping always. That's butcherbox.com/gals. Don't forget to use our link so they'll know we sent you. In light of recent events with my health, hydration has become a huge factor in my life.
It sure has.
Because as it turns out, when I'm hydrated, everything just kind of works better. My systems are working better. My energy is better. My mood is better. My focus, literally everything improves.
Everything's flowing.
Who knew when things are flowing? But I really needed to kick my hydration up a notch. Water alone was not going to cut it for what my needs are. And that is why I've been using Drip Drop. It's not just about thirst. It's honestly about keeping my body and brain running at full power.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. It uses a precise ratio of electrolytes and glucose for rapid absorption, delivering 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading sports drinks. That stuff has so much sugar in it.
So much sugar.
So this means you feel the results fast. You get more focus, better energy, improved mood, even glowing skin, because we all know hydration is the key to success. Drip Drop's science-backed formula is trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro teams because it's engineered to rehydrate you faster and more effectively than just drinking plain old water alone, which a lot of people just don't like water.
No.
Just drinking plain water. And that's okay, because this stuff actually tastes amazing. There are 16 original flavors and 8 zero sugar options, and it fits seamlessly into a person's routine, whether you want it in the morning, post-workout, or for your midday slump, all of the above. I'm one of those people who always has my trusty water bottle.
Yeah.
So I have that basically glued to my hand all day long, and I'll just drop some of these packets in my purse if I just want a little change of flavor, or if I'm like, I haven't actually got as much water today as I usually do, I'm going to kick it up a notch and really make sure I'm getting my electrolytes in here. Drip Drop also has flexible subscription options, so you're never going to get stuck without proven fast hydration. Whether you're on the job at the gym or just parenting through a heat wave.
Oh my God.
You will always have your drip on hand.
Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code GALS. That's dripdrop.com, promo code GALS for 20% off. Stock up now before the heat hits hard. Dripdrop.com and use promo code GALS now. All right, we're back. And I have our fan pickers case. Anna,
who said, if it's not too dark.
Yeah.
So.
God bless you.
Okay.
I mean, it's dark. It's dark. They're all fucking dark. Unless we're talking about like feral hogs. God bless. This is a case.
Or Valerie, the wiener dog in Australia.
God bless her. This is a case out of Colorado, circa 2011. And this case actually links two brutal attacks across two different cities, one ending in murder and the other miraculously in survival. And when we say miraculously, like that's not that is, it's truly,
it's not hyperbole.
No, it's not. That's the word I was looking for. That is not hyperbole. Like it is a miracle that she survived. So
I kind of like it when you're thinking of a word and I know exactly what word it is.
You're good at it too. You're really good at it.
I'm kind of good at it.
No, you're good at it.
I space on a word so frequently that I think it's only right that I should be able
to support me.
Psychically extract the word from you.
As a trade-off, that's totally valid.
Yeah, that's fair.
So this is the story of, well, this motherfucker, Travis Forbes, and his victims and a survivor, Kenya Monhe and Lydia Tillman. So the story begins in Denver, Colorado, and that is a city you should be familiar with if you enjoy weed and the most recent season of Love is Blind, which I do not enjoy, and I have a lot of thoughts on. So someone please join me on the Wine and Crime subreddit so we can talk about it. Next.
So is the Minneapolis Love is Blind the next season?
No, that already happened.
Or did that already happen?
Yeah, that was season 8. We're on season 9, and that's in Colorado. Minneapolis was such a snooze, and it's so clear to me. When I read a tidbit about how they do some recruiting from mega churches, I was like, oh, that really tracks. These are not people that I would ever encounter. Even like working in the service industry where I was working like downtown, it's like I still didn't see a lot of these turds. So anyway.
Well, but what about the couples that like one of them isn't religious?
Not everyone is recruited from mega churches. They just happen to do some recruitment from mega churches. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had to sneak that in because that's like the only bit of fun that we're going to get. So, moving on.
Fucking cool.
Yeah. So, on the night of March 31st, 2011, Kenya Monhe, a 19-year-old college student, really bright, really beautiful, had just like so many dreams and aspirations, and was enjoying her life in college. She went out on a Saturday night with friends. They went to the 24K Lounge in lower downtown Denver. She had to use the restroom, so she excused herself to go to the bathroom. She left behind her purse and her cell phone.
Oh, no.
She never returned.
Oh, my God. She went to the bathroom.
Yep. She got separated from her friends and was seen wandering the streets of downtown Denver. Investigators later had surveillance footage of her walking into the lobby of a hotel nearby, where she met a man, Travis Forbes, who was accompanied by, you guessed it, another man, whose identity was not released. The two men, it appeared, tried to help her get a car home, but eventually all three of them just hopped into Travis Forbes's van. Forbes dropped off his dude friend and continued on alone with Kenya, who never returned home. And so,
oh my God,
this other guy was not involved in her murder. I mean, she ends up being killed. But this is one of those things where it's like, when we say, yes, all men.
Yes, all men. I'll take the bear.
If you are not holding your friends accountable for their behavior, or if you are upholding rape culture to normalize this violence among your friends.
In a fucking Lyft home with a random woman and he's like, see you later.
Yeah, thanks for the ride. Like,
can you fucking
you do better.
Show up? What the fuck are you doing?
So, like, no, this guy didn't assault and murder her, but
you are culpable, though.
Is friends with the person who did and was totally fine just letting this guy drive off with a girl who was likely, you know, a little altered, alone.
I am very, very sick of backlash. This has happened to me a couple of times in recent years, but like just around town in my /Corey's, because let's be honest, I have 4 friends, exactly 4.5 friends. But like in the bigger social circles, if someone is accused of sexual assault, then it's my inclination to not associate with that person anymore.
Correct.
And sometimes that is, I guess, for some people more difficult because you might have historically been close to that person or been friends with that person or considered them a friend. And then it's like, well, all my friends are leaving me.
It's like, well, why are all of your friends rapists? Look at yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you. But what I'm saying is I think we should normalize cutting each and every tie with somebody who has been sexually abusive in your community. And also, on top of that, writing that information on bathroom stalls.
100%. Fucking
always bring a Sharpie to the ladies' room.
Yep. Don't trust this motherfucker.
Tell the masses.
Always.
Don't trust him. Don't trust him.
Don't trust him. So Travis Forbes, who was at the time a 31-year-old granola bar salesman and local entrepreneur, I honestly cannot think of anything worse.
What's a granola bar salesman?
I think he was like making and selling his own like product line of fucking granola bars.
Okay.
Do anything else. Get a grip.
Go hunt.
God.
Granola bars. That for many, well, for some, would be a moral endeavor. But it also just sounds really fucking dumb on paper.
It's so unbelievably unserious. Like granola bar salesman. I can't. So he was questioned by police because Kenya's stepfather, Anthony Lee, received a suspicious text message. Now, it's unclear to me whether it was on her phone, since I think it was on her phone because she left it in her purse. I think her items were returned to her home by her friends because remember, she went to the bathroom. She didn't bring her bag or her cell phone.
Yeah. So her dad saw the message, but it was to her phone.
It was to her phone. So it was a little unclear to me whether it was on her phone that he had physically in his possession at that point or on a device connected to her phone. But he got this text that had been sent to her phone from Travis Forbes, who was asking her, did you make it home okay?
Okay.
So this is a moment that launched the family into action because it's like, no, she left her bag behind. She left her phone behind. She got separated from her friends. She didn't make it home. We don't know where she is.
Is this?
Who the fuck are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that launched the family into action. Technically there wasn't like a missing persons report filed, but they immediately went to the police and they were like, this is fucking weird. And the police immediately started investigating. So essentially it was a missing persons report. It started an investigation. But when I like looked deeper, I like Googled when was a missing persons report filed for Kenya. And it was like, it wasn't even a specific missing persons report. There was just an investigation was started pretty much right away, which is like, I give them credit for that. I give the family all the credit, but like I do give the police credit for actually responding and taking that seriously.
Jumpstarting this shit and just,
Yes. So Forbes was questioned right away because it came from his phone. He admitted to the police that he gave Kenya a ride, but he claimed that she was drunk and incoherent. He told investigators that he stopped at a Conoco gas station 2 miles away from the club at about
Conoco.
Oh, I don't know. We don't like only have Speedway and Holiday
Conoco
here. So
sounds more fun.
I never knew how to pronounce that. He claims he stopped there about 2 miles away from the club at 3 a.m. on April 1st because she wanted cigarettes. Forbes claimed that she encountered a fellow smoker outside of the gas station. They were outside chatting. They were smoking cigs. And then she left with that stranger. So he just left her there. And he went home.
Okay.
I didn't see her after taking her to the gas station. Sure, buddy.
But okay.
Detectives, however, discovered that the gas station was closed and dark at the time that Forbes had claimed to be there. They also noted that his van, which is like old, it's not like a nice new van. And it's a van.
Distinguishable.
Yeah. That it smelled overwhelmingly of bleach and that the carpeting in the cargo area seemed brand new. At the time, Forbes was also on probation for domestic violence.
Things are lining up a little bit.
Yes, but at this point, they did not have quite enough evidence to hold him in custody. So he was released from custody, but under the stipulation that, like, you're out on probation for, I don't know if he was out on probation. Sorry. Yeah, you're on probation for domestic violence. You're a person of interest in this missing girl. Don't fucking go anywhere, but we can't arrest you yet. Okay. Kenya's family would wait an agonizing 5 months until finally on September 7th, 2011, Kenya Monhe's remains were found buried in a shallow grave in a field near Keensburg, which is about 40 miles from Denver. Ooh. And in that span of time, Travis Forbes was already moving on to his next victim. So about 3 months after Kenya disappeared, and they just still don't have enough to hold him, on July 5th, 2011, Forbes attacked Lydia Tillman in her Fort Collins, Denver home, in her apartment.
A home invasion.
Yeah. So Tillman, who was an acclaimed sommelier and a seasoned world traveler, she's a gal after our own heart, met Forbes at a July 4th fireworks show. It's unclear to me, and it may even be unclear to Tillman because of what she endured. I don't know how much of the entire event that she even remembers. But regardless of how he ended up there, within several hours after they parted ways at the July 4th fireworks show, he shows up at her apartment in 2, 3, 4 in the morning on July 5th.
Oh, no.
He sexually assaulted and strangled her.
So did he break into her apartment?
That's unclear to me. I'm not sure if he broke in or if they met at this party and she maybe invited him over. Not, just either way.
More things that we won't judge her on. But
it doesn't matter.
I was just wondering.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I was just wondering, in terms of timeline.
I'm not sure. And what he does to her place afterward, it could have been a little unclear whether there was forced entry. Regardless, he did the following to her. So he did sexually assault her. He beat her and shattered her jaw. He strangled her and he left her for dead. And then to try and eliminate DNA evidence, he doused her with bleach. He poured bleach throughout her apartment. And then he set her apartment on fire. And she is on the second floor.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
So also threatened the other people who live in the apartment.
Correct. Yeah, he could have killed everyone in that building.
He didn't care.
No, he didn't give a shit. Fortunately, the fire honestly almost saved her life because neighbors were able to call 911 and be like, oh, fuck, our building's on fire. So, fire trucks, ambulance, police show up.
Gah, I forgot she survived.
She survived.
Fuck.
Despite the horrific physical trauma, Lydia Tillman mustered the strength and courage to escape, which required, because of the fire, her leaping from a second-story window.
Shut the fuck.
She
what the
came
fuck?
to, realized her apartment was on fire, jumped out the window.
Launched herself out.
And saw an ambulance and ran.
Lydia.
Ran to the ambulance.
Was the ambulance there because
of
there was already a fire
there was already
there?
a call for a fire at an apartment building. They sent EMTs, they sent fire trucks.
Just someone launching themselves out of the second-story window while you just roll up with your fire. Ugh.
Can you fucking imagine?
Oh my God, no.
It's horrifying.
Fuck, she's so brave.
Medics asked her if she knew who had attacked her because she came out beaten to a pulp. I mean, we'll kind of get to it, but like unrecognizable.
Her face is like jelly.
Her face,
broken jaw, all that.
Horrifying. And she repeatedly said, no, 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 and then suffered a stroke from the bleeding, and that essentially put her in a 5-week coma. Her injuries were so severe that when her father, Willie Tillman, arrived at the hospital, he said he could not recognize her. Her head was swollen, eyes swollen shut. Her whole face was black and blue from the bruising. Her jaw is broken. The only way her family could confirm that it was her was by a ring she was wearing and a tattoo on her leg. That's how unrecognized. That's how badly her family couldn't recognize her. They had to confirm it was her from her ring and her tattoo.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's sick. This second attack,
but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like her corpse or something. That's
her living.
She survived. Her living body could only be identified by her tattoo and her ring.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So this second attack provided like the link for investigators to confirm their suspicions about Forbes in the case of Kenya, as well as Lydia's case.
Anything else? Oh, yes.
Yep. So Denver detective Nash Detective Nash.
Yep, there we go. Mm-hmm.
Immediately saw the parallel when he learned that Tillman had been doused with bleach. And that made him think, oh, this sounds like Forbes. He likes bleach. Like his van smelled like bleach. Like this could be him. We're going to question him. So police also tested DNA found beneath Tillman's fingernails because she fucking fought him. God bless her. And it came back as a match for Travis Forbes' genetic makeup. The use of bleach also, like I said, reminded investigators of the pungent smell in Forbes's van.
I kind of love that also because like bleach is such a distinct smell and it's so memorable, and like scent has such an impact.
It's one of the strongest
like,
links to memory.
Our memories.
Yeah.
So maybe like probably they were just like, oh, like it might have just been like kind of a neurological synaptic connection.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is kind of cool.
I also made up the word synaptic, so hopefully it's a real word.
We shall see when you Google it. So the DNA match was enough for them to arrest him, and he was arrested near the Colorado State University campus on July 10th. Police also used surveillance footage from a bakery where fucking Forbes, our granola boy, rented space for his granola bar business.
Fuck all the way off. Also, synaptic is a word.
Boom. You got this.
Smarter than I look.
You are. And you look really smart, so that's saying a lot. So they used this to piece together the Kenya Monhe case. The cameras showed highly suspicious behavior, including Forbes unplugging a camera in the owner's office, and then other footage of him wheeling a large cooler into the freezer. Yup.
We need to start reporting suspicious behavior.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone saw it. I think they only pulled this surveillance footage because he was linked to...
So no one would have reviewed that footage before the...
Not necessarily. Now, I agree with you, but like, I don't know if the business owner, the bakery owner even, or, bothered to look. I think that a lot of times cameras are there.
Yeah, they're just running.
They're just running, and they're there for, if there's an incident, we'll check the camera. They didn't have any reason to check the camera, and the police didn't really have reason to look a lot deeper yet at him until this second attack.
That's reasonable.
It is.
It just sucks. It just sucks that now the evidence that you've seen that camera footage, it's like, oh, he was wheeling an oddly shaped, really heavy barrel down the hallway
That's
at this
what's
exact
annoying
moment.
to me, is that he'd been picked up and already released as a person of interest in Kenya's case. So like, look deeper, look at that, pull the footage of where he was known to go. He's making granola.
He's making granola.
So like, yes, yes, and The police could have done more due diligence in pulling that evidence before
and following up on red flags such as owning a granola company.
Yeah, seriously. Before Lydia even had been attacked. Maybe we could have prevented that, but here we are. So Detective Nash G pointed out the strangeness of this discovery, especially since Forbes had claimed to be making deliveries all day and never mentioned being at the bakery. So that feels like a loose end that, like, he said he wasn't there. He was out making granola fucking deliveries. And so they didn't really look deeper at the footage until now this other thing has happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he claimed he had never been there, that he was making these deliveries, but he did later admit that the cooler that he was seen fucking wheeling into the freezer did have Kenya's body in it, and that it was temporary storage before he relocated her remains to the shallow grave about 40 miles away where she ended up being found.
Jesus.
Faced with all of this mounting evidence, he confessed to attacking Lydia Tillman and killing Kenya Monhe. Forbes told investigators that he sexually assaulted Kenya after she passed out from drinking in his van. So whether she was quite drunk when he intercepted her at the bathroom or, you know.
Yeah, that's the problem with Kenya's story that I have difficulty with, because it's like, I'll be right back, my good friends. I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm leaving my phone and my purse and my keys and everything here. Mm-hmm. Then you maybe go to the bathroom and then you maybe meet a guy who's like, hey, let's hang out. And then you end up in his van. I understand that it is possible that happened, but I just feel like my lived experience tells me that that's unlikely.
I think
is my only reaction to that.
think we might be missing the fact that they were at a club. So they might not have been like sitting at a table. They could have already been kind of dispersed dancing. And like,
but to be leaving your phone and all your stuff there.
Yeah, but
what year was it?
2011. But so it's not like necessarily an iPhone. I remember plenty of times when I went out dancing and I didn't want to have all my shit on me. So I like put my stuff down with friends and I hit the dance floor. If there were a couple of friends that were sitting at a table, then, you know, from there you wandered to the bathroom, like, sure, go in pairs. But like, it doesn't matter how all of that happened. It really doesn't.
No, it does. Like, it doesn't. I'm just like trying to look at the timeline.
It's a cautionary tale for friends to just be incredibly diligent of pairing up, keeping eyes on each other when you're out and you're drinking.
Make sure you insert an AirTag up your friend's butt.
Yeah, but this is 2011. You may not even have had that option at that time.
But I guess that's kind of why I'm a little bit backtracking on my original theory. Like, it was 2011. That was before smartphones were so ubiquitous that you were just like, I'm not going to the bathroom about my phone.
No.
Or like if you're in a big bar, like whatever, there's like lots of places. Yeah.
19 years old. I'm out at the bar, dancing, clubbing. I'm 19 in 2011, so I was probably pre-gaming before I got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me at all because I can put myself directly in her position. You wander off, you just to do something as innocent as going to the bathroom, and you just never know what can happen. She's 19.
I hope that my questions aren't landing as victim blaming, but I think more of my doubt was, did he hit her over the head and bring her into his car?
We don't know.
Or something like getting her into his car, like maybe it was more coercive than we know or than we think. That's all.
We don't even have clarity on whether he was at the bar.
We don't know at all.
The footage that we had was them being together in the lobby of a hotel that was around the corner where she met him and his buddy. So it could have, it could have been his buddy that she left with. It could have been no one that she left with. She
could have gotten there by herself.
She could have gotten there by herself. These are holes in a timeline that we will never know fully because she's not alive to tell the story. Yeah. And whether or not, I don't think that your comments are landing as victim blaming to me personally, because it's more just questioning like, how the fuck did this happen? And at the end of the day, we won't know. We don't know. It doesn't matter. And we can take this story as third-party people that are sharing it with additional third-party people and do what Kenya's family hopes will happen, which is that people can learn from this situation, the reality that these things can happen, and that we can be more diligent in our communities and like among our friend groups when we go out, when we're enjoying drinks, when we're pre-gaming, when we're doing whatever, is to stick together and to stay in pairs so that somebody can't wander away from the club without their phone in their bag.
And to put an AirTag up your best friend's butt.
Sure. Or at least into their clothing. Maybe their pocket is fine. Maybe we could start with their pocket. She was fully clothed when she left the bar. So
we could start with the pocket.
Yeah, we could start
and
there.
all of this is with consent, of course.
Of course. I would use my nature's pocket for an AirTag if it called for it. Why not? And I feel like it's important.
I was worried about losing you. I would force it on you.
I feel like it's important that you remember that your lived experience that you're drawing from is at, 38. And Kenya was 19.
Yeah.
In 2011, without the same tech that we have now, everybody's drinking like the shit I was doing in 2011. And I didn't have an iPhone in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
I was absolutely drinking and partying and going out and
leaving your bag and your phone
so that I could dance. Hell yeah.
Of course.
Could absolutely relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
So he admitted to killing her. He told her that he sexually assaulted her, that she passed out and she was unconscious when he assaulted her. Whether that's true or not, that's what he said. But he did admit that when she regained consciousness, there was an altercation. So that's why I do believe that she was unconscious when he assaulted her. It's possible that he was still assaulting her when she regained consciousness, or that she regained consciousness and realizes, what the fuck? I'm in the back of this rando's van. Something's not feeling right. I am in pain. Like, of course, an altercation ensued. She probably fucking freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
And so to quiet her and realizing, oh shit, she's probably going to tell someone that this happened. She's seen me, and an altercation ensues, and he strangles her to death in the van. And that's why, the bleach
seems pretty likely.
The replacement of the carpet in the back of the van where to get rid of evidence. It's all lining up.
Mm-hmm.
He explained to police that after he had killed her in the van, he stored her body in the suspicious cooler in the morgue before he buried her in that field about 40 miles away. He admitted to cleaning his van with bleach and ripping out.
We could fucking smell it.
Ripping out the flooring, whatever, carpet had been in there. He said that he burned that flooring and had it replaced. In September of 2011, Forbes, who was 31 at the time, he pleaded guilty to first-degree murder in the death of Kenya Monhe. And for that case, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Before being sentenced in this crime, a sobbing Forbes, save your fucking tears for someone else, but I guess, okay, at least you show some sort of remorse. He said in a statement at his sentencing hearing before he was sentenced that it was a mistake. Quote, I didn't plan it. I took a life. He apologized, asking people to, quote, remember me as I was, not the monster I became. I'm sorry. So, for the family's sake, I can appreciate that he showed remorse. And it's hard to know, as the family of victims of a crime, some may find solace in somebody admitting what they've done, admitting that, this was unplanned, owning up to taking somebody's life and apologizing for it. I think that can bring some peace. And
yes,
I think that sometimes it can't. And I don't know what's worse than somebody who stands there confessing but shows no remorse, somebody who doesn't confess and shows no remorse. I don't know. I haven't been in that situation before. That just my knee-jerk reaction is just fuck you. Either way.
I'm very glad I haven't been in that position, but I think the main message has to be someone showing remorse that does not necessitate forgiveness.
Of course it doesn't. And you have no obligation to forgive that person regardless.
And also, on the flip side, if forgiveness feels better for you in your own journey as a survivor or a loved one as a survivor, even if they don't show remorse, for you to forgive them,
it's
if
your
that
personal
releases
choice.
something on you, that's all about you.
Yep.
That is your own personal choice.
No, forgiveness is not for that person.
Same with not forgiving somebody who does express remorse. Like, no, either way,
It's your choice.
It's your own fucking thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same as reporting, not reporting. Like, can we please empower survivors of violence like this, at least their own response to what has happened to them? If they don't have control over what has happened to them in the past, let's at least empower them to do so moving forward.
Right. And Kenya's family at this point are the survivors in this particular situation. So it's their choice, and their response either way is valid. It's their decision if they get to feel comfort from that. It's their decision if they get to feel comfort from him apologizing and owning up to it. It's their decision if they get to forgive him. Whatever they do is completely valid.
Yeah. It might be worth noting also that, like, silence as a means of, silencing women's voices, but also just like taking away their autonomy. And the fact that rape has historically been a means of suppressing and silencing female voices. And also retaliating against dissent in that way, like in the patriarchal framework. To say that a woman speaking out and like relating that to her regaining her voice versus like stereotypically like not speaking is being silenced, is not having autonomy over your own life or your own free will. They're not necessarily correlated in the in the sense of like survivors of the specific type of like sexual trauma speaking out. That doesn't mean that you're not taking charge of your own narrative.
No.
Because as we've said, there's a billion other reasons.
Right.
But just like, I don't know, the voice versus the silence and the blah, 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 that sort of binary. I guess if you are a survivor, don't let that influence you into doing something that you are not comfortable or that you don't feel safe in doing.
No.
Because that's just the framework that we're given, and it's super, super basic and black and white. And yeah, the very tool that has been used to silence women, which is like sexual dominance, there is a lot to be said, like literarily speaking, about that being used to reinforce your silence. But just do you. That is the whole point of this episode is to reinforce the fact that this happens so commonly, and that it is underreported, and that if you are a survivor, you might feel really alone in this, and you're super not.
Yes, affirming everything that you just said. And I do appreciate that the Denver district attorney at the time, Mitch Morrissey, took the plea deal, which was basically just, we're going to take the death penalty off the table. You're going to go away for life without parole for pleading guilty. His motivation for accepting that deal was to spare the family a trial. Kenya's not here to speak for herself. The family would have had to be the ones to face him in trial. And I really appreciate that they chose to do that.
Yeah.
To spare them from that.
Well, that can be kind of a secondary violation.
Exactly.
Also.
They don't have to go through it. And they don't, I'm glad they don't have to go through it. In October of 2011, Forbes was also sentenced for the violent attack and attempted murder of Lydia Tillman. He pleaded guilty to attempted first-degree murder. He was handed and assault. He was handed a 48-year prison sentence plus 5 years parole for that case. And he'll never get to see parole because he was already put away for life without parole for the other case. So that sentence is fine. He's not getting out regardless. And he got 48 additional years consecutively with the life sentence.
Well, good. I'm glad that he got that. I mean, like we were just saying, like sometimes prosecutors will stack and then just decline to prosecute, certain things. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
I'm glad that the other family got their, hopefully they felt a little bit of justice.
And relief
for her death.
to not have to face.
And relief. Yes.
A
for
long,
sure.
drawn out trial. I mean, thank God. Lydia, at the time that Forbes was arrested for all of this, was still in her coma. And when she was in a coma for 5 weeks.
That's fucking crazy.
And when she finally regained consciousness, she was, it was horrifying. She came to with feeding tubes. She had something like almost inserted into her head.
Oh my God.
To monitor brain activity.
Like her brain stuff?
Yes. And
the last thing she remembers is probably her attack.
Yes.
Ugh.
So coming to, regaining consciousness was a really awful, confusing, violent, furious experience for her. She was pulling at tubing. She ripped out the monitor of her brain. She ripped out feeding tubes. It's like, it's just so scary. Like the last thing she remembered was violence.
Can't blame her.
She awoke almost reacting to that violence. And it's just horrible. And within 2 days of coming out of the coma, she's asking for a pen and paper to write a statement for his sentencing hearing. And she spoke. It just fucking gave me chills. Like this survivor feeling so compelled to speak, not only on her own behalf, but on behalf of Kenya, is really powerful.
Well, if you need a popcorn punt to me, I
while I won't be sharing the entirety of her statement, I think it is so powerful that she did decide to stand with her family next to her father in this courtroom, to face him herself, and ultimately to take the power from him in this way. And in taking that power, as part of taking that power, to forgive him. And so she said, quote, "Travis Forbes, you caused me no harm. My spirit, my soul, and my mind remain untouched. Like, fuck you. You don't have the power to take any of that from me. And you didn't. I'm not letting you." She didn't say all that, but I thought that was amazing. She said, quote, "May you find peace in this life," and walked away. God. Tillman later explained to ABC News that she found the strength in her heart to forgive him. She felt extreme anger toward him, obviously, and she also felt sad for him. And she said that she believed, quote, "he must be in so much extreme pain himself to so brutally hurt other people."
I think it takes such a mental clarity to, I guess, like rise above, but
really
just like
special person.
remove yourself from the emotional cage of somebody else.
Yeah.
And to be like, and to feel empathy or sympathy instead of anger.
Yeah. She
'Cause
chose.
we're so prone to anger and vengeance and, jealousy and things like that.
And she chose that for
anything else
herself.
is it's like otherworldly.
She chose to forgive him. She chose not to give him any power over her, to say,
Yes.
no, you didn't fucking hurt me.
I love it.
You don't have the power to do that. And you must be in so much pain and so much turmoil to be able to do this to somebody else. I forgive you, and I hope you find peace. That's really fucking powerful shit.
I guess having the capacity to hurt somebody else to that degree, it really does take a different kind of level of existence.
To be able to fucking do
And that
this.
would-
to kill somebody else.
It would suck to be there.
And try to kill her, to try to kill again. So although the attack left her with severe damage to her brain and her throat, which limit her ability to speak, she is incredibly resilient. Lydia is amazing. She's living a pretty full life. In the last interview she gave, she said she runs several miles a day. She participates in regular yoga classes. To this day, she wears a bracelet reading "Live Your Days Inspired Anew." And as of her interview with 2020 and ABC in 2011, she had aspirations of climbing Long's Peak, which is a 14,000 foot mountain. She was like, I'm going to fucking do my thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Girl.
So she's a badass.
Okay.
And I am so glad that she is here to tell her story, that she is here to advocate for Kenya, who was not here to advocate for herself, that she was here, that she got that DNA to help, solve her own case, but to help bring closure and peace to Kenya's family. I'm so glad Kenya's remains were found, that he's never going to fucking see the light of day, because she deserves that justice too. And that's the fan pick case from Anna. I am so sorry, but I am so glad that you brought that case to our attention, because it's really brutal and horrifying, but it's an important one to discuss. And
also the distinction between, different different victims of sexual violence, survivors and those who didn't survive their attacks. I think it's important to illustrate both of those accounts.
Right.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
Holy survivor stories.
Yeah, this was a hell of an episode, a long episode.
I knew this was going to be emotional, but I don't think
There's no avoiding
it. There's no avoiding it.
So thank you, Anna.
Yeah, if you stuck around this far, thank you. Also, maybe check into your local sexual violence survivor support network in your community, because they are literally everywhere. If you're not sure, check out the RAINN website. I think it's RAINN with 2Ns.org. Thank you so much to Anna for sharing your story.
And Lena for sharing hers as
with
well.
us. Thank you also for, Lena. I mean, I think in tandem, and also just at the top of the episode, it set the tone. Because then we start talking about more systemic things and the stats and it's easy to consume numbers, but to hear
no, you have to remember the people.
These
are real people.
The people behind all of this. Yeah. So thank you both for allowing us to do this. And like Amanda said earlier, if you're not on Uncorked, you should
come on down.
Maybe check it out. You're going to hear this episode and all of our episodes ad-free. We've got a whole bunch of other shit that I can't even remember right now because this episode was
Come
very
find
heavy
it on the website.
mind.
We've been through a lot today,
it.
but we appreciate you.
We're worn out.
Yep.
So thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Wine and Crime. Our cover art is by Danielle Sylvan. Music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell. Editing by Jonathan Camp. Our production manager is Andrea Gardner. For photos, sources, and other resources, head to wineandcrimepodcast.com. You can follow us on all the socials at Wine and Crime Pod. If you'd like to show your support and get access to all sorts of wine-fueled bonus content, check out our premium channel at wineandcrimepodcast.com/uncorked. Cheers!